Hi, my name is Al Henderson, and this is my presentation on commercial aviation. A lot of people think that commercial aviation is all flying, and it is, but in actuality, there's a lot of separate parts that come into play when you are aviating. One such thing is navigation, and I'll go through this presentation through the process of an aviator doing so. So, in this demonstration, I'll be going from Longville Municipal Airport to Walker Municipal Airport. And the first thing that you see and I see on this map would be these big magenta circles right here. What does that mean? Starting from the inside here at 700 feet and the outside at 1200 feet, it is Class Echo airspace. What does that mean? Class Echo airspace is one of the least restricted airspaces. It means that there's no tower at either airport. So you need to be up with your VFR regulations, which is your visual flight rules. So in this demonstration, I will be doing a VFR flight. So I'll be going from here to here. So some things along the way, I need to look out for obstacles and such things so I don't have any issues along the way. One such obstacle could potentially be this one near Whipholt at 1600 feet MSL and 320 feet AGL. MSL is mean sea level and AGL is above ground level. So on this particular flight, 320 feet wouldn't be that much of an issue. So instead of thinking of it as an obstacle, I'll think of it as a visual aid along my flight path. So going from here to here, I'll know I'm going the right way if I see an obstacle at 320 feet around halfway through my flight. Another great visual aid would be Leech Lake on my right side. So I know if I'm flying consistently in the right path, I'll have Leech Lake consistently on my right. Some other great things to know would be, some other visual aids, right? So there's plenty right here about 3/4 of the way through. One of those obstacles would be at Walker. You can see this little yellow highlighted portion. The yellow highlighted portions on a sectional chart are highly dense city zones. So there's one right here, so Walker must be highly dense. And there's an obstacle in there at about 1800 feet, which tells me there's probably some large buildings in the area and stuff like that. There's other stuff around there at around like 1700 feet and 1900 feet. So there's some pretty big obstacles along the way. So I'll be able to see that along my path, kind of on my left side as I'm doing this flight, right about there and there. Some other things to know would be, there's other visual aids as well, such as the highways right here. There's one right here and here. So I know if I'm on a flight path and I see intersecting highways, I'm on the right path, and they intersect and go straight to where I'm going at my airport. Another thing to take note of is this Victor lane right here. What's a Victor lane? A Victor lane is a federal aviation path or highway, kind of like on the road. So a lot of big jets will be going that way. So I'm going to need to kind of avoid that area. They're going to be very high. So if I see any jets going that way, I kind of know I'm going the right direction because it's going straight, right past Walker. So that's a good thing to know. Another great thing to know would be the weather before I go to Walker Municipal Airport. And it's great because there's an AWOS right there. What's an AWOS? An AWOS is an automatic weather observational service. And I would find out the weather by swiping 119 on my transponder, and they'll give me an automatic weather observation service, like weather systems that are going on in the area. If it's rainy, if it's cloudy, if it's clear skies. Hopefully it's clear skies because then I can meet my visual flight rule regulation. If it's not and I don't have 3 statute miles of visibility, it's a no-go and I cannot go on the flight path. Besides that, the C right here enclosed by a circle means that there's a Unicom there. Because there's no tower there, this is a great thing to have. A Unicom is something that an FBO would operate or a flight-based operator would use to have ground communication with the airplanes in the sky. So if there's any information I potentially know, like if there's a certain thing going on with the runway that's not usually there, I'd like to know that if there's other traffic in the area. Another great thing to know would be the notches right here on the airport. That means that there's fuel in the area that I can refuel my plane. The star above there is a beacon. If it's green and white, I know it's a civilian airport. If it's anything else like a green, white, that's green and 2 white, that's military. Green and yellow, not green and yellow, white and yellow, that is a sea base. I don't want to go there if it's a sea base. And if it's enclosed in there, it's a solid runway, and I'm good.